Like dead at you?
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty close. Oh shit!
Oh my god! 911!
Here's the interesting thing about sword forms. Everyone thinks that sword forms are supposed to teach you how to defeat someone else with a weapon. And that is partially true. But at the same time, or perhaps even more so, sword forms are designed to teach you not to hurt yourself. You are taught the trajectories that your blade needs to follow. You are taught the path that your arm needs to move in order to not be cut by your other arm. You are taught the position of your leg so that you don't accidentally swing down and hit your own leg. This kind of stuff happens more than you might think. What you just saw was an unfortunate person who was not trained, but was attempting to use swords. Just like any dangerous equipment, be it a car, a gun, a scalpel, if you attempt to use it without the proper training, you will probably receive bodily injury. Now let me take you back in time, and let's look at another young man who had training with dual wielding swords. Now you'll have to forgive me, there's no video footage of this person, but there are pictures. See the way he's crossing his swords? Instead of drawing his swords all the way back and then attempting to scissor out and in the process cutting his own arm, he's been taught to cross blade on blade. From there he can scissor out no problem and he's not going to cut his own arm off. Now in later pictures you can see that he is tucking the sword under his own arm, but that's because he's drilling a very specific pattern that involves using his hands in a coordinated fashion. The idea was to minimize risk to yourself, while of course maximizing risk to the other person on the receiving end. This is a really interesting theme in literature that you'll find often: objects of power and how characters react to them. Some characters scramble to pick these things up, some people are afraid of them, some people have success because of them, some people it's their downfall. But it is this idea that the wielder has to be worthy. Sometimes worthy in a religious significance, sometimes in a social significance, sometimes just because of the years of training they put in. And in this case, it's not just a literary device. If you pick up some sort of piece of equipment that you don't have the training for and you begin waving it around, well, it's finger fries with an extra side of ketchup. Maybe the next time you pick something up and you try to use it in a careless fashion, you should ask yourself if you're worthy. But of course, in our minds, we're always worthy, aren't we? Study, train hard, keep pushing your limits, but don't exceed them in a way that's full of hubris. Stay true, my friends.